Hey guys, so Sandra is actually working on replacing some of the deck boards because they got a little gunky and we're restaining the house. So I thought I would take you around the property because we have some really big fall plans. We have things that didn't get done in the summer months that we are planning for the fall, and we're hoping they're gonna get done, but we don't really know. But I can think of maybe a half dozen or more big projects that we have to do within the next couple months before winter comes. So I'm gonna show you that today. Okay, so probably one of the bigger projects this fall is actually taking up about a 1/4 acre of lawn. So if you see this lawn out here, and then if you see it over here, this is all going to be coming up. So you can see the lawn looks beautiful, right? I mean, it's really lush and green. We're approaching fall now, so it's looking good because I think this is a cool season grass. Although during the height of the summer, it looked great too. So we have no qualms about the grass looking good. It's just that we want to go with a more native lawn and a low mow lawn. So if you could see some of the finer grass right there is probably Festuca rubra, which is actually a native lawn seed. So we'll be putting that back into the environment. But the big project, this is a little spoiler alert, is that we're going to be planting 70,000 bulbs. So that's gonna be pretty crazy, but here's what we're thinking. So our idea is basically if we could get a low mow lawn with native meadow grasses. The native meadow grasses, because we want to provide more forage for insects, insects that maybe eat native grasses or rely on native grasses, as opposed to having more European and Asian mixed grasses. Also, we just spent a lot of time mowing this past season. So can we actually get grasses that may only grow 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches so that we only mow once or twice a season? That would be the ideal. And then also the idea is doing a bulb lawn, so more like Stinson style planting, which should be really fun. So these are plants that will come up in really late winter, early spring. So you think about crocuses and muscari, those little grape hyacinths, and species tulips like Tulipa, sylvestris, like number of those. And they'll come up in late winter, early spring, and flower throughout late spring and maybe even early summer. And that will provide great forage for pollinating insects. And you also want to reduce your mowing during that time too if you have a bulb lawn. So hopefully with the combination of the native low mow lawn with the bulbs, it will provide an interesting mix, but it's a total experiment. So we're gonna see if we could do it, but we have a good team on deck who's going to be helping us with that as well. Okay, the next project, you'll probably not be able to see it as well, but this tall grass right here, that is going to basically be another planting bed, and we're gonna do a higher pollinating planting bed. I have some plants here that you could see. So this is like Vernonia. So this is Vernonia right here, this one. So I wanna go with like a more peachy colors and dark red purples, things like that. This is a Verbena bonariensis, and that is also going to be one that I'd like to plant. That's not a native plant, but I really do like it. And I'm probably gonna even put it into our meadow. I'm gonna make some exceptions of plants that may not be native, but will provide really great pollinator potential. And you can see I have plenty of plants right here. It's a little messy over here, but I have plenty of plants right here from Rare Roots. I love, love, love this company. They have such a great selection. It's probably one of the best packing jobs that I've ever seen that people do. And they just have, I've always gotten great plants from them. And like I said, really great selection. So don't pay attention to some of these planting beds because they're not that, it's just grass right now, but we're looking to take up a lot of the lawn, as you could tell. Then I would say the next big project on the list is past the lawn. You have to look past the lawn, and in this like rocky terrain back here, this is gonna be a 7-acre meadow, if you could believe it. So we have been working on this for, oh, I don't know now, probably over a year. And there's a lot of preparation that goes into making a more native meadow. And that is going to be a subject for another episode. But this whole area, we excavated and we graded, and this was like the old nursery site. And so basically what we're going to be doing is planting a meadow here. This area though that I'm showing you right now will be a very low meadow. So our kind of low mow lawn will feather into a low meadow. And then we'll be planting some fruit trees here, although I don't know if we'll get to that in the fall. It might have to be a spring project. And in the distance over here are going to be berry bushes. And then we're going to go into high meadow species. And so we're going to probably settle around 60 to 65% grasses. And then the rest of that will be flowers and things like that. So you can see we have a nice wood chip pile over here and some mulch. Let's see what else will be a big fall project. As I walk down here, you can see that this field is filled with goldenrod, but we also have some Echinacea. This is probably some cultivar of Echinacea purpurea. It doesn't look like the totally native one. It could be a nursery escapee, and since this was a nursery at some point, then we probably have a lot of nursery escapees. Oh man, I can't show you this, but this is like a little leaf bug right there. And gosh, there's some really interesting species back here. It got really weedy in this interstitial, but one of our projects for next year, not this fall, is actually replanting this, what I'm calling an interstitial, because it's this space between the forest and the field. And what we'd like to do is actually plant some flowering trees. So I'm thinking like Amelanchier or serviceberry, which is already in the forest. Then Cercis canadensis, which is also already here. And that's eastern redbud. And then a lot of prunus species. Many of the prunus species, I'm thinking like flowering cherries and plums and things like that, do get a little buggy, and they do attract a lot of pests. So might have to consider that. Maybe we'll do less of that. And then I see this flowering tree in the distance. I'm gonna have to bushwhack in there at some point and go see what that is, because I see a swallowtail on it now, and I can't quite get a scope of what that plant might be. I see 2 of them in there. Anyway, let's take you down to show you our next big project. So one of our next big projects is actually installing a deer fence. We already have a deer fence, so we have to repair it in some places, but actually installing one deeper into the forest and starting a little agroforestry area. So we won't get all the planting done this year. I got really excited and I planted this hazelnut, but I don't know if you could see this, but you could see all the tips, all the buds are eaten off of this plant, which is so unfortunate because it was such a beautiful bushy plant with a lot of growth. And I have to tell you, it's the deer. We just have really intense deer browse. So if you could see into the forest, you're really not supposed to be able to do that. You're not supposed to see in the forest because there's supposed to be multiple layers within the forest, but this has been so heavily deer browsed. So that's part of the reason why we're going to be extending this fence, so that we could see more regeneration and recruitment within the forest, because you might see some seedlings on the ground, whether that's hickory or oak or white pine or cherry, but once they get a certain height, they get munched on by the deer. So that's something that we're going to be working on, hopefully before the snow comes. I also just have to show you this hickory tree because it is a really good hickory nut year. So our hickory trees are filled with nuts. I don't know if we'll get a chance to collect them before the squirrels do, but we also feed the squirrels pretty well here, so they might leave some of our hickory nuts alone. Okay, let's take you down to the next section. So one of the projects that we started on this summer is actually creating these paths through the forest. and chopping down some of the wood. So we had a lot of ash trees that were dead or dying because of emerald ash borer, unfortunately. So we started to use them to basically create pits and mounds. And anything that was small enough, we're starting to create a little section for firewood. If you could see over here, I'll walk up closer to there. So you'll see that we actually started chopping some wood and lining it up here off the ground so that there's no animals living in it and there's no rot. But we're gonna have a veritable amount of firewood. So we could do like a little fire pit outside. We also have a fireplace as well that we could use this in. We're looking to kind of expand beyond our fireplace. Maybe we'll look into a pellet stove or something. But yeah, this is what it's looking like, which is really cool. It actually looks like an art piece to me as well. So that is something that we're gonna be working on and continuing to work on in the fall. And the final project is actually more home-oriented. Basically, we are looking to restain this house. So we have to actually sand all this old flaky paint off, and then we're going to color it up with something really nice to protect it. So anyway, this is gonna be quite a bit of work. We're also gonna do that with the deck as well. So that's going to be quite an intense project, but we have our fall cut out for us. Yeah, so we only have a couple months to do this in. I mean, I'm showing this to you in September, so maybe we'll have a long fall like we did last time. I think we were working here on the land up until November 20th before we got our first snow. So if we have a long season like that, then perhaps we could actually get all of this done. It's a little ambitious, but I think we could do it.